Daily Finance Digest, April 25, 2026. Markets and crypto before the bell. Markets. Nvidia's stock sees its first record close in 6 months, thanks to Intel. Crypto. Bitcoin is on track for its best month in a year. $5 billion USD growth fuels the rebound. 5 of each. Let's go.
Starting with our top market story, you may have caught Nvidia in the Daily IT Digest earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. A major development emerged from Nvidia today. Here's what actually happened. Nvidia is finally on track to finish back in $5 trillion territory, capping off an incredible week for chip makers. The ripple effects from this story will take time to surface, but the direction is already becoming clear. We'll have more as this develops. Link in the description for the full source. Next in markets, you may have caught Nvidia in the Daily IT Digest earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. Nvidia is up significantly, and the real story is in the details. Here is the full picture. Nvidia's stock closed at its first record since October as a rally in Intel pushed chip makers higher. Short-term moves create noise. The question that matters: does this change the longer-term thesis for this sector? Earnings revisions will follow. That is where the real damage or opportunity appears. Our third market story, major development. You may have caught Google in the Daily IT Digest earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. A new product just entered the market, and its biggest competitor should be paying attention. What we know so far. Anthropic said its latest agreement with Google expands on a long-standing partnership between the two companies. The question is not whether this product exists, it's whether it's good enough to change your workflow. Give it 30 days before forming a strong opinion. First impressions of new AI tools are often wrong. Moving on, you may have caught here in our AI coverage earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. Regulators just moved against Charter, and this one has real teeth. The details matter here. Charter lost more internet subscribers than expected in the latest quarter, signaling that the company isn't out of the woods when it comes to broadband woes. This is one of those cases where the outcome affects not just the company involved, but the entire sector's operating model. This sets a precedent. Watch how other regulators in other jurisdictions respond. Rounding out market coverage, major development. Here is a story that looks routine on the surface. The implications are anything but. Let's break it down. AMD joined the ranks of $500 billion companies, with its shares soaring after Intel's earnings report. The ripple effects from this story will take time to surface, but the direction is already becoming clear. This one is worth bookmarking and revisiting in a week when the dust has settled. Markets done, crypto up. 5 stories on digital assets and DeFi, these move fast. Pay attention. Our first crypto story important update. You may have caught $5 billion in the Daily IT Digest earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. If you hold crypto, this development matters more than the price move it triggered. Here's what actually happened. CoinDesk reports that Bitcoin is on track for its best month in a year. $5 billion USD growth fuels the rebound. Price moves in crypto are rarely just about price. The underlying narrative is what determines whether this holds. The regulatory calendar for crypto in 2026 is dense. Links in the description. Next in digital assets, an important update. You may have caught SpaceX in the Daily IT Digest earlier this week. The story now crosses into today's coverage. CoinDesk is heading to the public markets. Here is what investors need to know before day one. Here is the full picture. CoinDesk reports that SpaceX's $75 billion IPO could drain the liquidity that's helping lift Bitcoin and crypto. For retail investors, the key question is valuation, and the prospectus numbers deserve more scrutiny than the hype. Lockup periods, valuation multiples, and revenue growth, those are the 3 numbers to track. Third, on the crypto radar, important update. The crypto market is reacting to news that goes beyond the price action. What we know so far. Pepe trades at $0.0000039 with 3% daily gain as Bitcoin surges past $79,000. Whale accumulation, ETF rumors, and key resistance at $0.0000410 shape the next move. Price moves in crypto are rarely just about price. The underlying narrative is what determines whether this holds. Set price alerts rather than watching charts. React to data, not to noise. Crypto alert number 4, important update. The legal and regulatory pressure on Binance is escalating. Here is today's development. The details matter here. Binance has unveiled a new wallet that merges AI with decentralized finance. Agentic Wallet, a keyless crypto wallet that enables AI agents to execute transactions on behalf of users within predefined parameters. Announced just today, the new wallet operates as a separate, isolated account within a user's Binance wallet, enabling AI-powered agents to trade, transfer, and the post-Binance AI wallet unveiled. Keyless agentic wallet for Web3 automation appeared first on CryptoNews. This is one of those cases where the outcome affects not just the company involved, but the entire sector's operating model. Appeals and counterclaims are likely. We will keep tracking this as it develops. And our final crypto story today, important update. A major funding round just landed at Nuku. Here is why investors are writing that check. Let's break it down. A man created an AI-generated image of escaped wolf Nuku for fun. It fooled authorities, triggered emergency alerts, and derailed a 9-day search operation. The valuation implies a bet on a very specific future.